Hi everybody, how's it going? I'm sitting here shooting this video on the day before the launch, so I'm freaking out over here. Thank you so much in advance for any support in any manner that you might show this project that I've done. By the time this goes up, I will have already posted a reveal video that tells you so much information about the palettes that I've put out with Makeup Revolution, the needs and the wants. And then after that video, I did something specifically with the needs, which is sort of my smaller all-in-one face palette. And I really am enthused to show you some ideas with the wants, because this is a really big palette and I thought just one quick demo would not begin to show you what this is capable of. And honestly, the multiple looks that I show in this video, they're just kind of scratching the surface, but that's what I love about this palette. You can use it and use it and use it, and there will always be more opportunities to do something different. And it was so satisfying to me to get to design a palette and really make a reality out of what I hope to see in so many palettes, which is balance and being able to get the full look all in one place. Well, you can certainly get a full look in here, and you can do that many times over, but I was really pleased with how these dark mattes that I have in here, outside of the one that's black, you know, I love that they show up really true to color and they don't just look dark and murky on the eyes, but purple looks like purple and this wine color looks like a wine. And I do think it really takes those kinds of shades in a palette in multiple deep tones to bring out the beauty of some of these light shimmery options that you have. I find that time and time again in the palettes I like best, there's some sort of balance happening there. So there's a lot of matte in this palette. We've got some really cool purples. We've got things for the people who love warm, but there's a lot of interesting cool splashes, and it's for all seasons. You know, I see this working every time of the year for any look you could want to do. And this is one of those shiny new ones. When you see me going through my tutorials, I'm using the one that I've been kind of beaten up a little bit. But basically in this video, I just want to take you through several different tutorials. Just every day this week, I'm going to get up and do a different one. So the first look is a Purpley Eye, and I was really eager to do this because I've had so many questions like, is there a purple involved in your palette? And there are a couple, as you'll see in this look. I personally love the combination in this look of that splash of cool purple, but also the warmth that sort of radiates out of the crease. And if you want to steer clear of warmth, I'm going to take you through a different color option right now. Instead of using like Midwest as a shade to set up your crease, maybe go more for Prayer over here, which is a cooler mauve color. Or if you want to go even more fiery and warm than what you see on my eyes now, work with the color called Laugh Cry down here, which is a beautiful orange. Let's jump into the tutorial. First things first, I set my eye look up with some eye primer. And then, like I said, I chose to use Midwest in my crease because I love the warm cool combo that this look presents. I'm going to take my matte cream color called The Cream, and I'm going to put that up under my brow. I used Belle Violet, and this shade, I must say, has gotten better with time. Even the more I've used it, the more a brush has hit this shade and applied it to the eye, oddly, the better it gets for me. And so I like to apply it with a gentle, short swipe. And I'm applying this over about the inner 2/3 of the lid. And then I come in with Family, and Family is the dark matte plum. It's a really true cool plum, and I love patting that on and let that overlap the lilac shade. And what you'll see is that it shows up true to color as purple. That was really important to me. I wanted that shade to be deep, yet still purple. So I get that all over the outer part of the lid, and then to sort of fuse the lid and crease, I love bringing in Pi-Fi, which has just a little more red in it. It's more of a dark burgundy wine color. And using a small brush, you can just kind of build up a little bit of color there in the outer corner. And I just like how that sort of fuses the shades together, you know? And then sort of as a finishing touch for the upper part of the eye, I go back to Midwest and I build that up even more. Now that I see the shape of the look, you know, I can see exactly where I want that shade placed. And then on the under part of the eye, I just used Family with a pencil brush and took that plum all throughout the lower lash line, and then toward the inner part I used Belle Violet, which really, when those two shades overlap, that's your ultimate purple payoff here with this palette. Then I chose to go light today on my lower inner rim with my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight, and I went across my upper lash line with my Revolution Renaissance Flick eyeliner, which is an amazing liquid liner. And then I just used an angled brush to sort of blend under my wing just a little bit with Family, that dark plum. It just makes the whole look a little more cohesive adhesive. I finished the look with mascara. I've got CoverGirl Supersizer on top, CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant on the bottom, and the false lashes I popped on for this look are the Cocoa Lashes in Risque. Not that you have to like be popping on false lashes every single day, but I do kind of like to play with how that frames different looks, and especially this look where it just seems like warmth is radiating out from the eye, and then you look down and you got that fun peekaboo effect. It's so great. And any of the light shades in this palette, the ones that come to mind would be Eve Rose, Belle Violet, and also that really light shimmery green. It can be so fun, even when you have a finished look that's fairly neutral, to take one of those shades with a small brush or even your finger and kind of make them sort of grow out of this part of your eye, like that inner part of the lid. It's so pretty. They all look really neat, layering up over different dark or neutral shades that way. But yeah, this is look number one. Oh, on my face, I'm wearing the Needs palette in terms of my blush, highlight, and bronzer. On my lips, I'm wearing this NARS, this lip balm. It's the Afterglow lip balm, and it's really just like a soft peach color. And over the top of that, I put on my Jouer Skinny Dip lip topper. So just kind of a natural, not too much color one way or the other, shimmery lip. But I hope you guys enjoyed this first look, and we'll be moving on to day two. We're gonna prime the lids first, and then I'm gonna pick up the color called Hobby, which I think is a great, easy way to set up the crease. Sometimes when you don't even know what direction you're going with your look, but you just want a little contrast there. I used a very light dusting of Oh Heavens just up under my brow as a highlight. I also picked up a little Side Hustle and used that to deepen up the crease as well and get it going in just a slight greenish tone. I patted some of that as well on the lid, sort of on the inner and outer parts, so we can make space in the center for somewhat of a halo eye effect. I don't usually do this, so I'm trying my best here, but I put on a little concealer. This is what I see people do anyway. You pop a little concealer on, and then that gives you a really strong base for your next shade. And so we're gonna use Grateful, which is this beautiful green with a great sheen. It doesn't necessarily require a concealer base, but that layering effect I think does make an impact. And so I just pat that on the center part of my lid. Then I decided to bring in Corduroy and just intensify the darker areas a little bit more. And this brings a nice green color splash as well to the look. So I really love the way that worked in. And I used Deuce Paid, which is a great terracotta brownie orange. And I used that just on the outer border to make it a really nice kind of earthy transition into just skin, you know? On my lower lash line, I used some Corduroy as well on the outermost part, and then I just blended in with Side Hustle. I used a green liner in my lower inner rim. It's the Makeup Forever Aqua XL in I-34, and it just sort of helps develop a little different look than I usually have with a light liner in there. And then I used my Revolution Renaissance Flick liquid pen all across the upper lash line, did not wing it out, and I finished the look with some CoverGirl Supersizer mascara, and these are my Cocoa Lashes in Soho. It's a really full, long style, but this is probably the second time I've ever really attempted a serious, like, halo eye like this. And one thing to keep in mind, I think, is like, just your inner part of the crease can maybe make it hard for you. Like, I felt like it was hard for me to really get good blending right in here in that innermost part. Everybody's got a different, you know, facial structure, and maybe depending on how your crease is there, if it's a little bit deeper, maybe it's just easier to create that. But I don't have a real deep crease right here. I have a pretty deep crease out in this part though, so that generally dictates a lot of my eye looks. But I may do this again if you guys like it. But I'm wearing the face colors from the Needs palette today, and then my lip is simply the Marc Jacobs lipstick in Infamous. I've always liked a pairing of green and then more of a pinky lip. I don't know what that is, but I enjoy it. Oh, and I'm wearing my Dawson's Creek shirt today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for look 3. All right, look 3, everybody, look 3. We're gonna jump right into the color called Prayer. I love prepping the crease with this shade. It's just slightly mauve-y rose, just a beautiful alternative to a standard brown, and really get that buffed in. I wanna take this look in kind of a natural, soft, ethereal direction today. And then I take a little bit of the cream on a fluffy brush and use that as my highlight. And we're gonna use Eve Rose. It looks like the most soft, classy, wonderful wonderful champagne-y gold on the lid. I love it, with maybe a hint of a pinky shift, but not too much. And you want to just use a gentle swiping motion of the brush. Then I really like applying Capricorn side by side with this, which this shade has some shimmer, but a lot of richness. This nice shimmery kind of coffee brown. And so I pat that on the outer part of the lid, let it come in and overlap with Eve Rose a little bit. Eve Rose is a Capricorn, like me, so that's kind of funny. There's a beautiful sheen in both those shades and just a softness that overcomes your lid when you do that. Then to add a little more richness to the crease, I'm gonna go into Apartment. Gosh, you could bring in Family, you could bring in Pi Phi, but I'm just gonna use the brown today. And with a smallish brush, just kind of start working that in the outer part of your crease. That shade looks so beautiful blending up into Prayer. And then on the lower lash line today, I'm gonna go back to Capricorn with a pencil brush and just smudge that. So the most concentrated application of color will be on the outer part of your lower lash line, and then just blend in with whatever's left on the brush. That shade is pigmented as all get out, and it will lay down some color for you. I wanted a really brightened up lower inner rim, so I used my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight, curled the lashes, applied a couple of coats of CoverGirl Supersizer mascara, and we have this super just soft, approachable, everyday glam, and I love it so much. Like, I think it's really important to show that even though this palette has some statement shades, it also offers dozens of combinations for a very natural, easy look like this. I just want to make sure you know that, because there are those colors that jump out at you, but then there's this kind of look and I love it. What else am I wearing today? I'm still tearing through foundation sticks around here trying to figure out what is the absolute best. Today I'm wearing the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear makeup stick. Color was really accurate for me. It's 260 Bisque N. And then as far as face colors today, I popped out my CoverGirl Peach Punch highlight palette, and on my lips I'm wearing the Infallible paints in Nude Star. So this is a little deeper and warmer than what's the other one I talk about all the time? Spicy Blush. This is a little richer than Spicy Blush. Stay tuned for the fourth and final look in this little series. It's day 4, everyone! We're going to set up the crease with a little bit of Midwest. This is gonna be a nice warm look, so I think this is the best place to get it going and just get that all nicely blended within the crease. I used my Sigma E25 brush there. I used Oh Heavens up under the brow. It'll give you that little bit of sheen, but not overboard metallic at all. I also used Oh Heavens, patting that on all around the tear duct area and up onto about the inner third of the lid. And then the color all over the rest of the lid is the matte berry color called Love Tons. I love this shade. It's potent, a little goes a long way, but just pat that on, and you can also kind of work it up into the crease as well. It looks really pretty as it begins to mesh with Midwest. And honestly, I think this is a gorgeous place to even quit with this look if you want to keep it kind of light. But to bring in a bit more richness, I like to go for Cheer, which is the red, and use a more pinpointed brush. This little one from Morphe works great, and I can get it right there in the outermost corner and pull upward and create a beautiful almost definition to this look, a pretty outer V with the red. So it's like we've got pink fading into red, and to bump that up even more, take Laugh Cry and just use that as this halo of warmth all around the look. It's really fun to just play and have fun and see what different colors look like together, and these all just mesh so well. And then on the lower lash line, I first smudged out some Cheer, and then I also incorporated Heartbeat, which is almost like a little softer take on Cheer. It's shimmery, it can really be laid down heavily if you want it to be, but with a pencil brush it's just going to be like softly buffed in here on the lower lash line. Then I definitely wanted a light lower inner rim, so I did use my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlight there. Also love my Makeup Revolution Renaissance Flick liquid liner across the upper lash line. Give it a wing. I think that fits the shape of this eyeshadow look really well. And then guys, to finish the look, I just applied some mascara top and bottom, and these are my Cocoa lashes in Risque, just a really full lash. And I love how this look just seems to be really radiating out from the eye. And it's funny how sometimes you get lashes on, or at least I'm this way, and then I reevaluate my eye look and I'm like, oh, I can suddenly take a lot more drama with the eyeshadow. So I actually took Love Tons, that berry shade, took my pencil brush, and I just kind of buffed buffed that on the lower lash line. Just made it a bit more colorful there. I found myself wanting to add more Laugh Cry to the upper area too. But yeah, just a really fun look, kind of incorporating this sector of shades over here. And a lot of times when I'd been experimenting with this palette, I found myself just using bits and pieces, you know, like I'd grab Love Tons and use it to accent like a different, maybe purpley look. Or I'd work Cheer In on top of Top Story, the golden shade or whatever. This, I believe, actually is the first time that I've done this particular combination of colors, and I think it's fun with this lip too. Just because you do a bold eye doesn't mean you can't also go bold on the lips. So I layered up 2 of my Besame Sheer lipsticks. The color's mostly coming from Berry Red, and then I thought it'd be pretty to take Chocolate Kiss over the top, and it just warmed up the color even more. And then all of my face colors are coming from the Needs palette. So yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little 4-parter on the Once palette. There is so much that this palette can do. I'm so excited to see what different color combos you think of. I'm shooting this look on Friday, and I've already seen people who have gotten their hands on the palettes and are starting to play with it, and they've been loving it so far. I'm over the moon to see your looks with this, and I don't care if it's like some perfectly done, like I'm an Instagram makeup artist type look, or if you are just using this for the everyday, just give me some great eyeshadow looks, like just show me what you got. I will be so excited to see it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your time. If you want to see more looks, I'll do more looks. The beautiful thing about the Once palette is that it's kind of like unlimited opportunities. I think you're going to constantly find different shades that you find look good together and can create some fabulous looks. Also, I've had a lot of questions about, are they in Ulta yet? Are people finding them? They're officially supposed to be in all Ulta stores by next week. So this video is going up on Saturday, so like in a few days, they should be trickling out in all the Ulta stores, although some stores have already put them out. And I've even heard from some people on Twitter who like went in and asked, and they're like, oh yeah, we do have them in the back, and they went ahead and got them out for them. But to everyone who has placed an order or is excited to try these, I mean, I cannot thank you enough. The excitement over this stuff has been unreal. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.